What's going on YouTube? I just wanted to do this little quick video. Some new articles were released yesterday, matter of fact, and like a day ago, which was yesterday, and I believe Tuesday, they just did an interview about Havana Syndrome last week. I didn't get a chance to go check it out, but I will be doing that after I make this video. But I found a lot of things interesting in this article. You know, the government lying and covering up stuff, the usual. The usual. Let's see. No thanks. So they're not even letting me view it on this one. Yeah, a new article was just released on here, but I just want to show we've been had a history of this. They must forgot. Let me see. Yahoo did one. Let me see what one. Sure, that was April 1st. Yahoo. And they try to link it to Russia so bad. Russia, I promise you, the people who's attacking me in response before this is not Russian in any sense. So I don't know why they're sitting up there and trying to one it off on, trying to push it off on Russia. We even have, just our history alone. Bill Gates apologizes for a syphilis experiment. Bill Gates apologized for the Haitian, for destroying the Haitian rights as well too. And this is where he's apologizing for conducting human experimentation on their own citizens without their consent. Let me see if I can find a shorter version of this. Well, I play it and skim through it. You just see how many times he apologized. It's just ridiculous. But this isn't the first time this is happening. Our government, our government, this is what we build the foundation on right here. Just think about it. Everything that they did. So with the long history that they have, with the same pattern of behavior.
And some of the advocates who represent them. Their
fair use, fair use. Y'all already know what it is. YouTube, I ain't trying to hear no copyright or none of that.
presence signifies that this administration's commitment to meeting our obligations of power, our willingness to share information,
to everyone who supported them. I am especially glad to see here today Senator Glenn, who's been so active and works the Attorney General, basically tries to get us all to do the right thing all the time. I want to thank basically the way that she views this. It's a part of her strongest possible commitment on the part of the United States. Unusual but important task. And all of you who served on the committee, I remember the first time. Let me tell you that just as this is an important part of the efforts that Secretary O'Leary outlined to restore the confidence of the American people.
There's no way y'all could do that. It's impossible.
All of these political reform issues, to me, are integrated. Do it. We needed to increase the capacity of the government to do it through political reform. Long effort to get the Congress to apply to itself the same laws it imposes on the private sector. The restrictions that I imposed on members of my administration, I say to you, I hope you feel that your government has kept its commitment to the American people, to tell the truth and to do the right thing. We discovered soon after I entered office that with the specter of an atomic war looming like Armageddon, far nearer than it does today, the United States government actually did carry out on our citizens experiments involving radiation.
And still doing it right now to this day. Why would our government do that way back then? And you think they just stopped? You apologize for syphilis, for destroying the rice in Haiti, All of these things Bill Gates is on camera standing at the podium apologizing for. We have a long-standing history of this, and then when this type of thing, revolving around radiation, occurs again, they want us to believe that it's not them again. Why would we believe compulsive liars? Why would we do that when y'all already did it multiple times? Y'all have a history of this. This just like how y'all criminalize individuals. If they have a violent history, that's used against them. To y'all, they're always going to be violent. This is how y'all profile. This is everything that y'all built y'all foundation on. Now y'all telling us that it's y'all being that y'all apologize. What do that mean? Y'all haven't stopped nothing.
That's when I ordered the creation of this committee. Dr. Faden and the others did a superb job. They enlisted many of our nation's most significant and important medical and scientific ethicists. They had to determine first whether experiments conducted or sponsored by our government between 1944 and 1974 met the ethical and scientific standards of that time and of our time. And then they had to see to it that our research today lives up to nothing less than our highest values and our most deeply held beliefs. From the beginning, it was obvious to me that this energetic committee was prepared to do its part. We declassified thousands of pages of documents. We gave committee members the keys to the.
That's what they do, though. They would literally do things like this, apologize, and declassify the information 20 years later so everyone who was involved could go ahead and live their life happily ever after. No consequences, nobody. Who is the government? The government is committing these acts. How could we arrest the government? So they just could commit these crimes and nothing is done besides we getting speeches like this. Do you see the hypocrisy behind this, though? It's really ridiculous, and this type of stuff angers me. I'm not going to even lie.
To the government's doors, file cabinets, and safes. For the last year and a half, the only thing that stood between them and the truth were all the late nights and hard work they had to put in. This report I received today is a monumental document in more ways than one. But it is a very, very important piece of America's history, and it will shape America's future in ways that will make us a more honorable, more successful, and more ethical country.
They do not believe in being ethical.
What this committee learned, I would like to review today with a little more detail than Dr. Faden said, because I think it must be engraved on our national memory. Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around
He said thousands. Thousands took place.
our nation. The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. While most of the tests were ethical by any standards, some were.
How could any radiation test to a human being be ethical by certain standards? Listen to the jargon he's speaking in. How is that ethical at all? Because all of the damage received by radiation is irreversible. There's nothing you could do about it. It damaged the DNA, it damaged the molecules. I mean, everything. You lose teeth behind it, permanent damage, ear loss, hearing loss, every permanent damage, concussion-like symptoms, it damaged your brain. Who would volunteer for that? What's ethical about that? I don't understand what he's saying.
Were unethical, not only by today's standards, but by the standards of the time in which they were conducted. They failed both the test of our national values and the test of humanity. In one scientists injected plutonium into 18 patients without their knowledge. In another, doctors exposed indigent cancer patients to excessive doses of radiation, a treatment from which it is virtually impossible that they could ever benefit. The report also demonstrates that these and other experiments were carried out on precisely those citizens who count most on the government for its help, the destitute and the gravely ill. But the dispossessed were not alone. members of the military, precisely those on whom we and our government count most, they were also test subjects. Informed consent means your doctor tells you the risk of the treatment you are about to undergo. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment. And that was wrong. Those who led the government when these decisions were made are no longer here to take responsibility for what they did.
And this is exactly why they declassify 20, 30 years later. They give these people enough time to conduct these experiments so they could leave behind the research, and they just carry it on with the next group of people. It's the same type of people who keep being in charge. So they released an article yesterday about the Havana Syndrome, and I just find it so, it's just ridiculous what they into it. Then they keep trying to blame it on Russia. I promise you, Russia, I haven't seen one Russian participate in my torture yet. They love to try to create the boogeyman when they're in fact the boogeyman. It's crazy for real. The government is hiding something about Havana Syndrome. Of course they are. The biggest thing that they're hiding is that they're the ones responsible for it. Who would still trust the government who got a long standing history of doing something like this? This is especially true when it comes to the so-called Havana Syndrome, a generic term used to describe a variety of symptoms that have plagued diplomats and embassy workers since it first came to light in Havana, Cuba, nearly a decade ago. See, the thing is, though, this is another thing, though, because they're only acting like that this only happened to government official, diplomats, and embassy workers, when really it's a growing phenomenon that's taking place with citizens abroad. Like, this is worldwide. So, of course, we all know that Russia can't be responsible for all of it. They can't be responsible for all of it. So they did an interview on 60 Minutes the other day. I didn't get to see that, but I'm gonna go back and watch it after I get off of this just to see the BS that they're spewing and the misinformation. The government was supposed to. It was an article that I read on Yahoo, and they were saying how they keep blaming it on Russia, but the people that they did the test on, who fell victim to this, the officials, the government officials, they complained to Congress and they complained to the NIH that that the test results was basically they misreported the data. So they're sweeping stuff under the rug, and the people who fell victim to this, the government officials, they complained about it. So now Congress demanding for them to do a review on the information that's shared around this Havana syndrome. I'm not sure how far that's going to go, but I'm definitely going to stay in tune with it. But it brings me to this right here. It said, as Zen said, just ask a question podcast this week. The roots of Havana syndrome could be tracked back to the Moscow signal. That is a lie. That is a lie. I know for a fact that my neighbors was microwaving me. I even got proof of the microwave readings coming directly from next door. And he was African American. He ain't look Russian to me at all. It just pains me that they throw out this misinformation just to keep people, guessing. Of course, they're not going to tell us that it's them doing it. They're not going to declassify this for another 20, 30 years. We're caught up in the middle of what we known that the government been doing time and time again. When they're doing things like that and they first come abroad, we got at least another 20 years of this before they declassify, and your sitting president at the time apologize on their behalf. We see it time and time again. Time and time again, the same repetition. It was reported microwave transmission varying between 2.5 and 4 gigahertz directed at the embassy of the United States, Moscow, from 1953 to 1976, resulting in an international incident. See, they've been doing this. This is nothing new. They've been doing this. They're not going to stop doing this. They're just going to keep lying, keep throwing out misinformation, and make it seem like people are crazy. Is what I find weird is a government official could go up there and say that they were targeted by this, but if your average citizen go and say that they were targeted by this, then they're diagnosed instantly. You're paranoid schizophrenic. But none of these government officials who reported being attacked with these weapons was ever accused of being or having a mental illness. I find that very ironic. So I guess that you have to be a government official to be able to identify that you're being attacked with microwave technology. That's outstanding. I find that real crazy for real. It pissed me off, to be honest. I'm not gonna even lie, it pisses me off because all they do is lie about it, bro. I mean, you got from the National Science Association, you have the information is out there. They know exactly what's causing this, and yet they still play with us like it's crazy, like our life is not on the line. I find that very it it pains me because they've been beating my ass all day with this technology. And I'm gonna get me a shirt made with this and a source cited on what y'all seeing right now on the screen. I'm gonna get me a shirt made with this, and I'm gonna wear that shirt every time I go to my doctor's appointment. Every time with the source link. I'm talking about the NIH link, all of the links that talk about it. That's my next move right there. I'm gonna design a shirt tonight simply for this right here, and I'm wearing it to all my doctor's appointments. That's gonna be my doctor shirt. I promise you, that's what I'm gonna do. This shit got to stop. I'm really ready to start advocating against this. I mean, I'm ready to advocate against this. I'm about to direct my life into this. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm sitting up here worried about all the wrong things, talking about building this business up from the ground, although that's important to me too. But this right here is more important to me. This is like the most important thing in the world to me. And I'm gonna advocate about this. I'm talking about until my dying breath. I'm gonna die anyway. I mean, we all gotta die, but it's not gonna stop them from targeting me. They've been tearing my ass up all day. I said bet. Okay, that's what's up. Keep on doing it. All I'm gonna do is become an advocate about it. I'm wearing this shirt right here to every doctor's appointment. I promise you I am. Every doctor's appointment. I'm gonna be setting doctor's appointments for no reason, just to wear the shirt. I ain't lying. Why? Yeah, it was a little bit more I wanted to touch on this video, but I lost my train of thought. Be honest, I'm over here getting angry and thinking about it and what they just been putting me through today. Pain, and here goes some of the symptoms of the Havana Syndrome. I don't know why people act like this is a game. Let me share my screen right quick. Havana Syndrome. Here's where I got the picture from. Pain in one of both ears, tinnitus, hearing loss, intense pressure or vibration inside the head, difficulty with memory or concentration, nausea, visual disturbance, unsteady gait, loss of balance, vertigo, dizziness, and the chronic symptoms can last for weeks, months, or even longer. Headache, insomnia, depression, impaired balance, impaired concentration, memory loss. And this isn't even the half of what they could do with this technology. This isn't the half. This right here comes from military times. So let's see their description of it. Acute symptoms often occurring suddenly may include loud sounds, sometimes described as chirping, clicking, or screeching, and pain in one or both ears. Many felt the sensation came from a particular direction or were felt when in a specific location. Tinnitus, hearing loss, intense pressure, vibration inside the head, difficult with memory, concentration, nausea. It's still saying all the same stuff. No definitive cause has been found. So we're saying the same thing, but this is coming from a military website. There's no mystery behind this. We all are aware of what's going on. We all are aware of what's going on. I know I am. I know nothing's mentally ill about me. And I'm going to advocate against this until my dying breath. I promise you. I'm going to go get posters. I'm going to do everything. I'm showing up to town hall meetings, everything. I promise you. Watch. I'm showing up to all that. I'm not just going to keep sitting around and allow these people to cook me and keep sending me to the hospital. I might as well get them a reason for real this time. My whole mission is to expose this. I'm not even playing with them. I'm not playing with these people no more. They done pissed me smooth off for the day. I'm mad. I want revenge. I ain't gonna lie. I'm aiming to piss them off every day. I'm aiming for it. I don't care if they bust my heart right now. I'm aiming for them to. I'm pissing them off every day. Every day is gonna be some progress made. I promise you. I'm not gonna keep sitting idle to this. Yeah, of course they would. At time after time, our government now presidents keep getting on camera and apologizing for all the wicked, evil things that the people did 20 years ago, and it's just a repeated pattern. We just keep seeing them doing that over and over and over and over again. So my question is, so what are y'all gonna do next? Like, so what experiments do you got planned for us in the future then? Because I mean, it's obvious that history show that this is what y'all gonna keep doing. So what do y'all got planned for us next? After Havana Syndrome, President, excuse me, what do you plan on doing to the young American citizens next? That's my only question. Because it's obvious that y'all are the problem, not us. It's y'all that's the problem. And they trying to convince the world that Russia is behind this. It's not Russia. That's facts. And I'm sick of it for real. I'm not really trying to put up with it no more. I know I really don't have a choice but to put up with it because there's really nothing I can do. But far wise is advocating for it, for the cause, trying to bring awareness to it. I'm more determined than ever. I really normally don't. I'm going live on all social platforms. I'm gonna revamp all of them. I'm advocating solely for Havana Syndrome because they make it seem as though that, as I stated, if you're a regular citizen, then if we say that this happened to us, then we're mentally ill. You have to be a government official to say that this happened to you and be taken serious. No, in what world do they do that at? What makes their word more credible than mine? And we know the government is known liars. What make them more credible than me? I know what I'm experienced. I got the medical history of it. Y'all go just look at my medical records and see what's going on. See what my complaints been about. See what so just go ahead, collect my medical records. So even though y'all saying that y'all can't figure out what's going on with me, I'm pointing y'all in the direction, and y'all say, "Oh, you mentally ill." No, that's that cover up. That they've been told that. That's what it is. They've been told that. How could you not look into it? And y'all done ran every test on me possible. Y'all done ran the last test that I got to take, and I done literally did every test that I could. Is the stress test that I got scheduled for May 2nd. After that, there's no excuses. Then what could it be? Because y'all keep saying, well, we got to figure out what's going on. Why this keep happening to you? Y'all don't want to figure it out. Y'all keep on trying to push it off as a mental illness or something like anxiety or something like that. No, we're not gonna keep playing like that. It's not that. It's not that. The last two episodes I had, I took the medication, two different medications at that. Y'all gave me Ativan and y'all gave me that hydroxyzine or whatever it was, and it made my heart beat 15 times worse. No, I'm not. Y'all not gonna. I don't want no more of that. Don't give me nothing. Y'all want the man. Y'all better figure it out for real. 'Cause they pissing me off. They they whip my ass all day today. Right now they're not attacking me, and that's thank God they not. Because literally they just stopped. I've been getting attacked since 5:50 this morning. That's what woke me up out my sleep. I told you my body was so sore, my mouth was so dry. It literally hurt for me to swallow. It literally hurt for me to even attempt to swallow. It was so dry. Heart pounding crazy. And they stopped for probably not even an hour, maybe 40 minutes, started it back up. I went to the emergency room this morning about 9 o'clock, got discharged at 11. As soon as I walked in the house, they started right back up. And honestly, they just stopped like 40 minutes ago. No, we're not going to keep doing that. Not me. I'm not trying to keep on putting up with that. They could call me mentally ill all they want. I'm going to be screaming this at the top of the mountains. I promise you. I'm advocating for this, bro. That's all, because I'm getting mad. I done lost train of thought. I forgot what else I wanted to talk about and what articles I wanted to read. I didn't let them get me worked up. I'm pissed royally, too. I'm going to get off this line because I'm ready to rant on.